Nation.
Been an entire year since I've done a video, and the last thing I did was when I had the EP2 and I was removing all the dents out of it, and I completely ballsed it up. I've been through one car since then. It was a 1993 Honda CRX. Needed loads of work doing to it, and I drove it every day to Leeds from Selby. Don't know why I attempted that, but this is my new car. I got a 2006 Mazda 6 MPS as a daily driver, because it's got full leather interior, got cruise control, all the nice stuff. And it's also my first proper all-wheel drive performance turbo Japanese car. And I don't know why I never had one. Maybe because the insurance was ridiculous. And the tax, and the fuel, and everything. People who know these cars know them as unreliable pieces of shit. However, mine hasn't been too bad. I say that, so far I've had to replace the thermostat, the power steering pump, and I cracked the bolt on the radiator. It's a little plastic nut, I snapped it, but that's sorted now. And it has caused no problems. It's currently on 90,000 miles, which is a lot for one of these. Well, I say a lot, not really for most cars. So what's been done to it? Well, it has a catback exhaust. It has a Turbo Smart blow-off valve, which is actually quite a nice little unit. I think they're like 200 quid for those blow-off valves. Fantastic, love it. Has a stupid air filter, and they've obviously broken the map when they took it off originally, because that's held on with duct tape. So that needs sorting. Still on the stock KO4, and people who know the KO4s in these cars, they tend to smoke, and this one was smoking when I bought it. I've switched it out to fully synthetic 5W40. It seems to have calmed it down quite a lot. But I do want to get the turbo changed at some point. The problem with the stock KO4s is that, I mean, you have to correct me if I'm wrong, but when the car's idling, obviously it's under vacuum, and for some reason oil gets pulled through the turbo seals and gets thrown out the exhaust. Some people say this is because of the PCV. If the PCV is blocked, the crankcase pressure will try and go through the turbo. And others say it's for various reasons. I think the majority vote is that the stock KO4 is just a piece of shit, which is fair enough. It's just an excuse to go bigger, really. So the things I need to grab are mainly, any Mazdaspeed people know this, high pressure fuel pump internals. And the reason for that is when you start modifying the MZR engine, the L3K9, whatever it's called, the standard high pressure fuel pump, which is what it needs because it's direct injection, kind of runs out of pressure. So it's not uncommon to see even cars with just an intake and exhaust start to max out the standard high pressure fuel pump. So when you put upgraded internals in there, it kind of unlocks more fuel, so you can then start putting more air mods on there, i.e., you know, intake, exhaust, downpipe, things like that, and that will just stop it running lean. Following that, it'll need an access port all the way around. I'll probably get an access port first. It's for my own safety, really, because I get very paranoid about things like these, especially if a car I know it's got problems. Helps you keep an eye on your AFRs, boost pressures, tells you if anything's going wrong, read codes, and also because we can start mapping with the OTS maps, which aren't ideal. I'd want a custom tune, but the OTS maps are still going to be closer to what it should be than still running it on the stock map, especially with the intake, exhaust, etc. Annoyingly though, before we can do any of that, I need to fix the rust. Yes, like a lot of the Mazdas from this era, this one suffers with rust. Not as bad as some, but still quite bad. You'll see there's a bit on the bonnet, and then each wheel arch has at least a bubble or two. The worst one being the driver's side front. I don't know where I'm going to take it, or if I'm going to go it myself. Just make sure it's sealed and nicely done. But it's one of those things, we end up throwing money into cars like these, and at the end of the day, you're always going to lose money on a car. It's a hobby. If you're not willing to put in the time and effort and the money, then it's not a hobby you want to do. I have always wanted one of these. Oh, there it is. My 2006 Mazda 6 MPS, or Mazdaspeed 6, as it's sometimes called.